everybody, in this video I will show you how to play I Just Want Some Skank and Beverly Hills by the Circle Jerks off their Group Sex record. The songs kind of run together and they're both pretty short, so I put them together into the same lesson. The song is in standard tuning, and if you have a quick second, please like and subscribe. It really helps my channel out a lot, and check out my website, ScottO'BrienGuitar.com. I have the tab for this song as well as over 100 other punk, rock, and grunge songs that I've done videos for up there and other resources. And today I am playing through my Mesa Recto Verb amp, and I am using a Boss DS1 distortion pedal for a little bit of crunch. And here we go. All right, so I Just Want Some Skank starts off with this pattern that goes like this. And so what we're going to do is we're going to play a D chord, a 3-note chord, with our index finger at the 5th fret of the A string, and I like to bridge my ring finger across the 7th fret of the D and G strings. You can also play with your ring finger and pinky if it feels better to you. And then we're going to go up to a D sharp, so it's the same form of the chord, just slid up 1 fret. Then we're going to go back to the D, and then we're going to go up to the E, so that's just 2 frets up, same form of the chord. And we're going to do all downstrokes, and it's 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And again, it goes like this. So that's pretty much all there is to it, to that part. And then it goes into this kind of like bridgy part that goes like this. And so we're going to do major chords here, and it's going to be an A major bar chord. We're going to play not the full chord. We're just going to play the bottom 4 notes, their bottom 4 strings. So we're going to bridge our index finger across the 5th fret. The root note is on the low E. And then we're going to play the 7th fret with our ring and pinky, and our middle finger on the 6th fret of the G string. So, and we're just going to play the bottom 4 notes, and it goes into pattern like, or it's kind of loose, so it can be or. And then we're going to go up to an E, which is similar to what we played before. It's a bar chord with our index finger rooted on the 7th fret of the A string, and our ring finger bridged across the 9th fret of the D and G strings. And it's a little different rhythm, so it goes. So in order to kind of get that like real distinct notes, you're going to have to probably do alternate picking, and you're going to need to mute the strings in between some of the chords. So we're going to play down up, and then we're going to release our fingers but hold them over the string so it kind of mutes it. So and then we're going to play the chord again, and we're going to kind of pull off in between each time we play the chord to give that real distinct sound. So and if you can see, I'm releasing my fingers when I'm playing that E chord in between each strum. Then we're just going to go back to that first part again. And then after it plays that part that time, we're just going to hold the D chord. And then it goes into the chorus. And it's the same form as that D chord, just moved down 2 frets into the C position. So, and we're going to play real fast back and forth alternate strums. So, and it can be a little tricky. And in order to kind of get that distinct ending, you're going to lift your fingers off of the chord after you play the last strum and just mute the string. So slowly that rhythm sounds like. And then continuing on, we're going to stay in that C position, and we're going to go from C to an A in this rhythm. And so we're just going to stay again in that C form, and then we're going to go to an A. And the A, I like to play with my index finger and my middle finger at the 2nd fret of the D and G strings, and then you're going to play open on the A string. So those 3 notes. And if you're playing it fast and kind of loose like punk, you might, and you're strumming hard, it might be easy to hit that low E, which is going to make it sound weird. So what I like to do is I like to bridge my thumb over the other side of the neck, and I'm just going to kind of gently mute it. So it gets that kind of muted sound so it doesn't ring out with the chord. So we're going to go. So slowly it's. So it's just 1, 2, 3, 4 with alternate strumming. And then we're going to do kind of a similar pattern, but we're going to play an A major chord down to a G major chord. So again, it's index finger bridged across the 5th fret, middle finger at the 6th fret of the G string, and ring and pinky finger at the 7th fret of the A and D strings. And we're just going to play those bottom 4 notes. And then we're going to slide down to that G position and just play it once. So. And what I like to do again is pull my fingers off the chord to get that distinct end. So. And so slowly it's. And then we're going to go right back to that first part again. And then on the record, it's going to go straight into Beverly Hills right after that part. So we're going to go. Right into that song. So we're going to start with a 2-note power chord. We're going to play with our index finger rooted at the 4th fret of the E string and our ring finger at the 6th fret of the A string. Then we're going to move up to an E, and we're going to play a 2-note. It's pretty loose, so you could probably play the 3-note. Just listen to the record and see what sounds better to you. And so that's at the same form, just at the 7th fret of the A is your roots. And then we're going to move to the 7th fret of the E, and then we're going to move up to the 9th fret of the E. So it sounds like this. So it's pretty straightforward. It's all downstrokes, and you're going to palm mute. And in between the chords, there's going to be this kind of open part. So you're going to, when you go from the first chord, you're going to play just open on the low E and A string before you move to the E. And you're going to maybe release that palm mute a little bit to get it to ring out a little bit. And then you're going to move down to the B. And there's going to be a little let off in between the chords there. So. And then we're going to move on to the next part, and the chorus is going to be like major chords. And again, it's going to be like the bottom 4 notes or 4 strings of the major chord. And so we're going to start off with an F sharp major. So we're going to play with our index finger bridged across the 2nd fret. And again, our middle finger at the 3rd fret of the G, ring finger and pinky at the 4th fret of the A and D strings. And then we're going to just move up 2 frets, holding that same form of the chord. Then we're going to play an E major. And this time it sounds like he's hitting the high E and B strings. Then we're going to move back up to the F sharp major again. And the E is basically the same form as those bar chords, only your bar is open. So it's on the open strings. So you have an open on the low E, and then you play, I like to play with my index finger at the 1st fret of the G string and my middle finger and ring finger at the 2nd fret of the A and D. And so instead of like barring all the way across, like you would play with the F sharp major, or the F major. You're basically just moving down and letting those open strings be the bar. And so again, the rhythm is. And then we go back to the first part. So then it repeats that verse part and the chorus part again, and then it ends with the verse part going. So we're just playing the same chords, starting off with our index finger rooted at the 4th fret of the low E, palm muted, and then at the end with that E chord, a little more open, probably playing 3 or 4 strings, and just ending like that. So that's it for this one. I hope you liked the lesson. If you appreciate my content, please like and subscribe. It really helps my channel out a lot. And check out scottobryanguitar.com. I have the tab for this song as well as over 100 others up there and other resources. And I'll see you guys next time.